Hey everybody, so Intellivision is making news yet again with the Amico. So first of all, yesterday I posted this video about how Intellivision is addressing the accusation that they stole art and they put it in their game Battle Tanks that later was renamed Tank Battle and may have a different name by the time it launches. So I posted this video bringing that up, and interestingly enough, 24 hours later, actually less than 24 hours later, Intellivision Entertainment on their YouTube channel has once again re-uploaded their deep dive into Battle Tanks / Tank Battle. Thank you to the Geek Getaway for making sure that I did see this. I did notice this, but I appreciate you letting me know this. Now, this is at least the third time that this video has been uploaded. It was originally called Battle Tanks, that went private, then went public and private, then they did the tank battle thing. And now in this video, you know what they did? First of all, this title screen, which is one of the pieces of stolen art, or at least that's been accused to be stolen art, has been blurred. This tank is now blurred out. And throughout the video, you no longer see any of the tanks. The close-up tank icons, the animations, or the pictures that basically people were saying, hey, this is from another game, this is from World of Tanks, this is from this website, this is from that. Now, of course, the playable tanks are there, but like when you would win a battle, it would show a picture of the tank. When you would select a tank, it would show you the different tanks. All that is no longer in this video. This video is almost 2 minutes shorter than the previous video that they posted. I don't know if this was in response to my video or if this was something that was a work in progress, because even before my video, word was getting out, of course, about this stolen art. So they may have been working with their developer or whatever to remove the art, and it finally got done. It might just be a coincidence, but interesting timing nonetheless. Now, they sent out an email and it had a bunch of different information. And the biggest story is that Amico production has begun. It says, saving the best news for last. The entire team at Intellivision is excited to announce that we've completed our pre-production and start our formal production of Amico consoles. We are focusing on our initial launch units that will ship to our first customers as soon as possible. We hope to have more accurate shipping information by the end of the year. So that doesn't mean that people will be getting the Amico this year. It still could be months and months away. We won't know until they give us more information. Now, they did mention a possibility that they changed manufacturers and that the manufacturer could manufacture in the United States for a higher cost or in China for a cheaper cost. And there was talk that they might start doing the manufacturing here in the US just to get out these early units, and then they would ship things over to China for the rest. So there could even be this soft launch, if you will, where all the pre-orders get filled and maybe some systems make it to a few stores, and then there might be a gap when they transfer things over to China. I'm just speculating, but if you have been looking forward to the system coming out, if you had one on pre-order, congratulations, you will probably get it in early 2022 if this is accurate and all goes well. They also announced that their FAQ is finally done, which probably should have been done a couple years ago, but anyways, this is going to take a little while to go through. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but let's go ahead and let's look at some of this new information. Who's the target audience? The audience is everyone who wants to have fun, playing simple pick up and play video games with friends and family or on their own. Our games are designed to allow people of different ages and skill levels to have fun playing together, as well as great single player modes. You know, before this FAQ, they didn't focus a lot about great single player modes. It's almost been exclusively about couch co-op, about being able to play with people together in the same room. Now, they did say that every game would have a single player mode, but they kind of didn't focus on that. So it's interesting that they're kind of focusing on it now. When will it be available? They say what we've heard before, the first quarter of 2022. So you're looking March at the latest. And there's the price, of course, and the 6 games. Will I be able to get more Amico controllers? Yes, you will. Most action games support up to 4 players. The Amico itself supports up to 8 players with a maximum of 4 Amico controllers. Some people don't realize this. Originally, you were supposed to be able to use 8 Amico controllers. You can only use a maximum of 4 controllers with the Amico. They did that for Bluetooth reasons, I believe was the reasoning. And then you can use the mobile app with smartphones to support up to 8 players. Something I didn't read in this whole FAQ, and maybe I missed it, and if I did, you can let me know in the comments below, is what games will not be able to be used with the app, because what we were told before in one video from one of the people from Intellivision was that there are some games that can't perfectly replicate the controller. The app can't perfectly replicate the controller, so there's some games that you may not be able to use the app with. Did they fix that? Is there still going to be games that you can't use with the app? They don't say, at least I didn't see it here. So let's keep going, talking about different things. Can you purchase extra controllers? Yes, some of these things are kind of redundant. Some of these questions, honestly. Controllers can be recharged by docking cradle or via USB-C cable. For safety reasons, do not play games which support motion controls while charging the controller. I could just see someone trying that. So we're talking about the motion controls, the discs, the haptic feedback, the touch screens. So all this is at Intellivision.com/FAQ if you want to see this as I keep going. Let's see where it talks about the screen, how you can use it in different ways. It could display images. How that it's not, they're not going to have, they're not really, there might be mini games or hints on the screen itself, but they're not planning to use the screen on the controller for, isolated games. Once again, they're talking about the limits of the controls, how many can be used. Can you take your controller to a friend's house to play a game? So this was announced at E3. So this is interesting. They gave us a little bit of information that I hadn't heard before. So when you bring your controller over to a friend's house who also happens to have an Amico, simply dock your controller on your friend's Amico to establish communication. Your games can now be downloaded and played for up to 24 hours while your controller is connected. After the sharing time expires, your controller must reconnect with your home Amico to re-enable its ability to share your games. So there's a limit. So if you have the controller and let's say you're spending a week at grandma, and grandma, she used to like the Wii and now she has an Amico, you can bring your controller and play your games there for 24 hours and that's it. So that's what that kind of says. At least that's how I'm reading it. Let's see, is there any online co-op or versus play on the system, which they originally announced very early on, but now they said that there are no plans for online play at this time. However, we will have the ability to compete for high scores and leaderboards. We're also planning to allow Amico owners to set up their own personal leaderboards with friends and family from around the world. So basically, no, you're not going to have online play with the Amico, even though very originally, early on, they did say you would. Can you record? There's no way to record it. You'd have to use a third-party device. Do you have to be connected to the internet to play games on the Amico? No, it's only required when you are downloading games or to utilize the online store, is basically what they say. Has 32 gigabytes of internal memory. I wonder how big the games will be. I can't imagine very big. What other accessories will be sold for the Amico? So you got controller cases, controller overlays. I'm interested to see how the overlays will work on the Amico, since it doesn't have like a slot like the original controller. Game shop gift cards, carrying case, of course, boxed editions, attachable physical buttons and discs for mobile controllers after the launch. So you're not going to get this. How much will the games cost? Digital games for the Amico will typically be priced $9.99 or less at launch. So they've said before, Earthworm Jim 4 might be more. So you might have games that are more expensive. Of course, box editions will start at $19.99. How many games will be available for the Amico at launch? Approximately 20 games. And they actually are telling us what games will be available at launch. So we got Astro Smash, Shark, Skiing, Cornhole, and Farkle, and the 6 mystery game that are built into the system. And then, here we go. Are you ready? Missile Command, Moon Patrol, Biplanes, Evil Knievel, Finnegan Fox, Dynablaster, Rigid Force, Redux, Brain Duel, Intellivision Tank Battle. I wonder if that will be the final name. Intellivision Pool, that has not been announced as a launch game before. Space Strikers, Flying Tigers, Emoji Charades, which I'm thinking might be the 6th game. Some people have said Blank Slate might be the 6th game. Care Bears, we haven't seen it. I know it's based on a previously released game, but we haven't seen the Care Bear game on an Amico. And then 3 Sesame Street games, which we haven't seen those on an Amico yet they're going to be launch games. So, okay, I think these games might be based on an old web browser game. I'm not 100% sure. I know at least one of them was supposedly. And then they talk about some of the other games that are being in development. So they bring up Burger Time, which we haven't seen yet. They bring up Warlords. I don't think we've seen any of that. Bump and Jump, Jungle Hunt. There are a lot of games still missing from the initial list of games that they put out. Microsurgeon, that's the first we've heard. I think that'd be the first Magic game. So let's see. Soccer, bowling, darts, spades, Harlem Globetrotters, Telestrations, Ink and Gold, Liars, Dice, Nitro Derby, Back Talk Party, and then more Sesame Street games. So a lot of Sesame Street goodness that will be coming out for the Intellivision Amico. And then our Amico game, single player or multiplayer. This is a little bit new to me. Most all, not every. Initially, they said every game will have a single player and a multiplayer option, but here they say most all the Amico games are both single player and couch co-op or local multiplayer. So I guess they're saying some games might just be single player only or might be multiplayer only. I guess that's what they're saying there. So I didn't know, because originally they said every game will have a single player and multiplayer option. And I guess that's not going to happen. Once again, multiplayer. Will there be multiplayer online? Not initially. We're looking into more online gaming sharing features, but they have to fit in our family-friendly goals, which, you know, I know Nintendo, I haven't been online with a Nintendo system, but they used to do it very friendly-wise where, you know, you couldn't just type anything. You had to use pre-selected phrases. So it shouldn't be that hard, but it might be costly for them. It talks about if you could trade your games, and it says basically you could trade your physical games. You could sell them, but digital games that you digitally download, that's only for the system it's downloaded on. You cannot trade those games. If the servers are down, they can play any installed game on your Amico. It doesn't talk about how you'll have to tap your card or RFID card if you downloaded it that way, which Tommy said. It says they will have 3D games on the Amico if they fit their model, which originally I don't think they said they would have 3D games, but to me that's not a big deal. Will the Amico play original Intellivision games or cartridges? Amico will be offering many original Intellivision titles in the online Amico game shop in inexpensive bundles, likely starting next year. Original cartridges are not currently supported. They have talked about how maybe a third-party device could be created that could accept real cartridges. I highly doubt that ever happens, but it's possible. Here's a list of some of their developers, which I think is smaller than the last time I saw a list. I'm not sure. And they talks about how they are working with people, working with developers and doing a lot of stuff up front. Should I submit unsolicited ideas to Intellivision? We encourage you to provide feedback regarding our company and products. Well, good. I provide feedback to the company all the time, but don't send unsolicited ideas. Then there's an About Television section that talks about the history of Intellivision and basically what it has to do with the Intellivision of today. Here he says, I've read positive articles about Amico from reviewers and tried it hands-on. Of course, every article or review is positive, right? Can it be? I've seen I don't know why you have to just say it has to be positive, but can I try the Amico hands-on to write a review for my blog or YouTube channel? And this confused me. So if you understand what they're saying, let me know. At the moment, we have very limited bandwidth to host hands-on demos at our offices. Why do you need bandwidth if this games, I don't understand, because to me that tells me that you know, I use that for like online purposes, so someone can't come to your office and play a game offline. I don't get that. If someone could let me know what that means, I'm probably misunderstanding something. But unfortunately, we do not pay for expenses nor fees or incentives because we want all our reviews to be genuine. Yes, and if you remain interested, contact us through our contact channel or website. I've seen some great reaction videos. Everything's great. Great reaction videos from regular people at your demo events. How can I participate in one? Our live events are open to the public. Just join our mailing list and you'll be notified. All of our reaction videos show regular folks, not paid actors. So there was one girl in one video, I think it was a Boomers event, where people said she's an actress. So they're saying basically she wasn't paid. It is possible for an actor or actress to show up to an event. I don't know that for a fact, but that's what they're saying. But, you know, they're saying it's regular folks. They're still not admitting that they had an investor show up. And I wouldn't consider an investor being a regular folk, but that's my opinion on that. So there you go. There's a lot more stuff on the FAQ. If you want to do that, again, that's Intellivision.com/FAQ. So let me know what you think of all this stuff in the comments below, and I will see you next time.